Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Bharat Talks. Today we have something very serious and something that does not get talked about a lot. We are going to talk about our neighborhood, and the situation in our neighborhood. We are of course talking about Bangladesh, but we are not here to talk about the country of Bangladesh, whatever that might be now. You don't know about that. We are here to talk about the minority of Bangladesh. We are here to talk about the Hindus, the other religions that are counted as minorities, the Buddhists, the Christians. They are tortured in Bangladesh and their voices simply die down, among other things. So, as you know, Bangladesh had a regime change, whether it was done by them or someone else, and Sheikh Hasina lost power. So we have Comrade and we have Daniel Hagari with us. I would like to throw this question towards Comrade. What do you think? Why do you think this situation happened? I mean, that led to all this.
Okay, I'll have to get into a little bit of history, like few months back.
Yeah.
I'll start from December, when this new Hasina government came into power. And why I was saying new? Because they were already in power, but this election that happened, the opposition did not take part in it, like in this last election.
Yeah.
So the normal people, common people, were already of the idea that she's a dictator or something like that. She won't let others rule or others even come close to her power. And also within this, there was a anti-India sentiment brewing with the civil society. It did not come to the forefront. Like on paper, India and Bangladesh were the most, friends of friends. Best of friends. Like,
Yeah.
But the civil society, it was anti-India. And
You mean to say the Bangladesh government was very good friends with India, but the people were
exactly.
not.
But the population it represented did not at a larger scale. So what happened? This two issues added to that instantaneous issue, which was the quota reforms.
Yeah.
We will not get into the details, but
They needed something to create a spark.
but the reform, which the reason for which the protest started was with a fair reason.
Yeah.
Slowly, they started demanding for Hasina's resignation. Hasina bent a little. They, wanted her fully out. And it culminated to the August 5 protest. When Hasina was eventually had to, flee her country.
Yeah.
And we had to give her refuge.
If we did not, then she would have been murdered.
Exactly.
I don't know, murdered or something worse.
Now let's come to the main point. What happened after she was ousted?
Yeah. What do you think?
As she was ousted, there was a sudden state of anarchy. Whenever there is a state of anarchy in Bangladesh, attacks on Hindus happen. Attacks on other minorities too happen. The Islamists, they try to capitalize on this
All
situation.
right. I would like to go to Daniel. Why do you think this happens? Whenever there is unrest in Bangladesh, why do you think the minorities always have to bear the brunt of it?
So, why the Hindus of Bangladesh, especially the Hindus of Bangladesh among all the minorities, are here at the brunt? The reason is that in Bangladeshi society, the Hindus are seen as loyalists of the Army is the political party behind the Sheikh Hasina. Correct. So they are seen as loyalists because, see, in the Bangladeshi society, among the many Islamist parties, the Army is the only secular party in Bangladesh which contests election.
Yeah.
The major political party. So whenever the other side, let's say the BNP, which is known as the Bangladeshi Nationalist Party, and the Jamaat-e-Islami, which had a coalition in the past, they win the elections. They want to show the Hindus that we are in the power now and we will have to listen to us. So that is one of the primary reasons, I feel, why Hindus are being primarily
So,
targeted.
Comrade, do you think there is a deeper reason behind this?
Actually, there is. Obviously, let's not try to hide from the fact that there is not.
Yeah.
Ever since partition, there has always been an India hating hatred among normal Bangladeshis.
Yeah.
But it did not come to the forefront because it was hidden under the
Their own operation. It was hidden by another operation.
exactly, and like the civil society. I mean, the government always was friends with India.
Yeah.
And the way they tried to project the idea of Bangladesh was through the unification of the language.
Exactly. At least Sheikh Mujib did that.
At least the Sheikh Mujib did that, and this was a project rather.
Yeah.
We could be secular even being Islamic if we follow the culture. But that sadly did not happen. We can see the results now.
So, what actually happened after Sheikh Hasina, got out of power? As I know, if I give into some input, Sheikh Hasina was given an ultimatum that you simply have to get out. And, the one of the reasons for this, that she was thrown this mercy from the army, was that she has her own family connections in the army, that we all know. Probably because of that, she was given some kind of a mercy. She wanted to give a speech actually of resignation, but she did not have the time to do that. Then we all know, we were all following the plane that took her, but that was not the actual plane. Anyway, after that, what do you think happened?
So this kind of thing just repeats itself in Bangladesh. Whenever there's a regime change or there's some kind of political instability, some kind of state of anarchy where like the law enforcement authorities don't have any idea if to like catch them or not to catch them, because they are not sure if they'll come to power.
Complete failure of law and order.
Exactly. So whenever a situation like that arises, attacks on Hindus happen. It's just an excuse for like anti-social elements to loot and rape and do other things. And this is some kind of justified in that Islamic setting, I'll say rather. We have a majority Islamic surrounding in your, and you break idols. It's somewhat justified. Like it is not seen as like these things happen. Like Mujib idols were broken so many times. We are only seeing this after Hasina's ouster. Before that also, so many places Mujib's idols were broken. Because idol worship is seen as Hindu culture rather. They don't like idols at all.
Exactly, but the problem with Bangladesh is that they always have to bounce between this identity and that identity.
Exactly. Because Bangladeshi identity or idea is supported by the city liberals, I'll say. They always preach that this is the greatness of Bengali culture.
Yes.
This is how we wear saris. This is how we used to sing Age ki sundar din kataitam and all that stuff.
Yeah. According to them, the language comes first.
Exactly.
But that is a minority. That is also a minority. That's like probably 5% or 2 or 3% in the cities. Highly educated people or educated people.
But even within those educated liberals, India hatred is a common thing. I mean, they hate India on every. There is spectrum of India hating. Some hate India lightly, some hate India extensively. Bangladesh is an enigma.
See, when you are not able to do something in life, then you curse the person who is able to do something in life, right?
There is one more thing. So the main complaint regarding India is then that India dominates too much. Now, my question to them is, what do you expect? You are surrounded by 3 sites on India. India is providing you with raw vegetables like onions, potatoes and all. And we control the dams on the rivers. Right.
India is your biggest trading partner.
Power in the Indian subcontinent and in the global south. So India will be dominating, right? Which is superpower can you show us which does not dominate? So for example, USA dominates Mexico, Russia and China dominates Mongolia. And why it is a problem when India dominates Bangladesh, right?
And it's not just about domination. I mean, you can't do anything about it.
We are culturally similar. That's right.
Yeah, and we can't change the geography. We are not ready to sacrifice our land. You just happen to be within our land. That's not our fault.
It's not like we are negatively impacting your country or invading your country like that, right? We have supported your textile industry and that's given you.
That's a very good point you said.
Yeah.
So I'd like to add that. And like India was friends with Bangladesh, we had this economy growing. We could see that the garment industry in Bangladesh is flourishing.
Yeah.
From a third world country, they are somehow like moving now to become like proper. I mean, they were, yeah, you get my point.
Level economy.
Yeah, the fast fashion industry totally relied on Bangladesh.
Exactly. And now that system is broken, and all those, I mean, businesses are coming to to Uttar Pradesh now.
Yeah, studies suggest that they lost at least 500 million within the time Sheikh Hasina lost
What
power.
we were saying, please, and
Yeah. So I was telling about the complications that we have also solved, right? You remember in 2015, Narendra Modi and Sheikh Hasina had a land agreement deal
Yeah.
where there was a very complication between all
Those inlets and those land within land and all
It's
those.
not like we don't want to resolve conflict with you, right? It's not like we are invading your land, we are imposing something of our culture, which is exactly similar to yours, what you have. We are not imposing Hindi on Bangladesh, right? Then how is it that we are dominating? Whatever issues we have could have been solved by
You
them.
know,
So the second point that I quoted, right, is the what I feel is the religious hatred that they have, and they are also wary of the Indian investments that they are doing, that we are doing in Bangladesh, like the rail connectivity and all. And it's for their benefit. Business and trade happens when there is connectivity between two nations. It's not like we are taking away your land and planting our railway line.
and it's cheaper for them to avail Indian businesses. I mean, Indian
Yes,
products.
you could also participate in the Indian business, and your patients are coming to the south of India for their medical treatment.
Exactly.
Then should we call that Bangladesh is trying to invade southern India? No, right? We encourage that. Please come, spend your money here, do whatever the business you want, but go back, right? We are also planting railway lines not because of us who wants to travel to Bangladesh. We have enough of natural resources here and tourist
Yeah.
places here to roam about, right? We don't need to go to Bangladesh for anything, right? It's for a better connectivity between India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar and other countries of this area. They
we,
should have
we
that
want to
common
build a
sense.
global south.
You know,
That's the thing.
what I feel is like Bangladesh wants India to be weak. I mean, they'd rather want Chinese investments. They are very proud that Chinese have built so much big things. And this you can see in South Asian Muslim diaspora that China is a very great country. They have built so much things. But I mean, India shouldn't be. India is a poor country. They are like us only. I mean, this is what-
Because they associate the Indian identity with the Hindu identity.
exactly.
That's the thing. We have to hit the rabbit in the head. They think of India vis-a-vis Hindu. They don't understand that this is a secular country.
And even if there is a secular government in power, their hatred is secular, I'll say. Yes. And what I mean, the Bangladeshi liberals these days say that you are now headed by a very radical government, radical Hindu government who like wants to kill Muslims and why? How would you support that? It's not like that, bro. If you go by the statistics, Muslim population has always increased in India. I'll say it's much closer to like 20% now. Last time it was.
Probably.
Last time when the census was done, it was 14%, right? 14 or 11.
Yeah.
14%. 14%.
No, see it like this. We are the second most Muslim inhabited country in the world after Indonesia, and we will be crossing Indonesia. So how come Muslims are subjugated to religious torture here? This point here.
Anyway, speaking of minority subjugation, do you think these attacks are spontaneous or pre-planned? I mean,
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Good question. Because some people are saying this is happening because of the political instability and other because of the Sheikh Hasina Basra. That is true. But these things happened before that also. If you remember, in 2015, there was a popular leader called Obijit Roy who used to write books. He was a blogger who used to write about liberal ideas and all. Was hacked to death when he was visiting a fair in Dhaka by two Islamic militants. Then Washikur Rahman Babu, another blogger who used to write about Mukto Chinta and all, was also stabbed. And then Bijoy Kumar Das. These were the listed by one of the terrorist outfits, which is a terror outfit called Ansarullah Bangla Team, which derives its motivations from Al Qaeda. They took the responsibility and they prepared a hit list of 100 people who should be killed to preserve the Muslim, to preserve the Islam, to preserve Islam in Bangladesh. So it's not spontaneous. It's targeted. They know who it is and they are targeting those.
Exactly. I mean, the leaders are probably not going around commanding those mobs like generals, but they are at the head of it. They are putting in the ideas.
Comrade will have better idea. Comrade will.
Yeah.
So spontaneous or not, let me add. Again, whenever I say that, I'll say these attacks are spontaneous only. But situation arise that there is no law enforcement. So they got a free hand in attacking. I mean, free hand in organizing these kind of attacks. And just like 1, 2, 3 days more passed, these ideas permeated in the society, and they found out that it was somehow acceptable to do these create these kind of problems and then say, okay, we were not. I mean, they could just hide among the masses after doing this.
Exactly.
So these kind of things happen. I mean, this happened before also. Now we can see at a larger expression because they are claiming that they are free now. So that's how we can.
How many times will they be free? I ask if any Bangladeshi viewers are watching this, right? How many times the country needs independence? Will we in the future also see an independent Bangladesh?
As long as does not become a caliphate, it will always.
They are wearing
even
acts of ISIS in the roads of Dhaka. Recently, I saw.
Even if they do, they won't be accepted as equals in the Arabian Peninsula. So that's something sad. Anyway, I would like to go back to history, where these attacks took place. Did they happen for the first time, or are there incidences of some kind of a political instability happening beforehand?
No, every time during the Durga Puja, right, you will see violence. 2021 was one of the major incidents that happened where some quoted mad person placed the Quran in front of the Durga Mandap.
Exactly.
And they saw, and these Islamist people always put the blame on the Hindus, and it was found out that it was a Muslim man. And when it was found out that it was a Muslim man who placed the Quran in front of the Puja Mandap, they termed that man as someone who is psychologically mad.
Yeah.
Mentally unstable.
Mentally unstable.
In that way, I would call all the people who were inciting the violence as mad, right?
Exactly.
You did not have facts. You did not have facts on ground. You did not have proper evidence, and you jumped to.
Whenever these kinds of things happen in the subcontinent, there are always termed the both sides were wrong. Both sides were wrong.
What did the Hindus do? Yeah.
They just retaliated. They were just defensive. And
What did the Hindus do? They were just celebrating their festival. What wrong did they do? They disrespect your religion, which I don't agree with. You should never disrespect any religion. Did they do it? No. So why is that? Anyway, speaking of these kinds of attacks, I mean, this took place during a religious time. Did something like this happen during a political time? I mean, before or after election, or during a regime change in the past?
I can give an example. So
Yeah.
this thing happened. So there was a Hindu guy called, young kid, 18 or 19 probably. Utsav something, I don't remember his Mandal, right? Or something like that. Alright.
Oh, you mean the recent something that
Recent
happened?
incident
Yeah.
after Hasina's ouster. So what happened, Facebook was flooded with anti-Hindu posts, anti-India posts and everything.
Yeah.
Because we stay in West Bengal, our Facebook feed was also somewhat filled with this.
We could see and we could understand.
We could see those comments and all. So something along the lines of, they said that Hindus are very dumb people. Someone said Hindus are very dumb people
Yeah.
because they eat cow dung and all that. Like that.
Yeah.
Some Hindu
Provocative, something provocative.
something provocative against Hindus. This guy got pissed off. He wrote something against the Prophet. And that's what he did. So next day what happens, some people from madrasa come, pick him up, take him to the police station, or no, the guy's family went to the police station for protection.
Yeah.
We might be killed and all that. These madrasa guys, they stormed the police station. They were inside and they were outside also. They were demanding, we just want him to be paraded with a what to say, Jutor Mala, I don't know the translation.
Yeah, a garland of shoes.
Garland of shoes, yeah. So that's what they wanted to do. But we all knew whenever.
That's always a lie.
So the
They
police,
wanted to publicly execute it. That's it.
They wanted to lynch him.
the police officer didn't give in to all this. And slowly after the discussion went like a little haywire, they started beating him up inside the police station only. Somewhat like he was almost like half
Almost dead, yeah. He was almost dead.
And then the army saved him, and he was in army hospital last we know of him. But these things happened. Like if you have to defend your religion by beating someone up, I don't know
Then how insecure can you be?
exactly.
I mean, all right, I don't support the fact that you say something about someone else's religion. And one evil cannot be equalized with another evil. That is also true. But you have to think about it. He is just a kid. He's probably not 18 or he was 17, right?
Yes. No, he was just in college, first year in college.
Yeah, he is still a kid if you consider that.
He's still a kid. He's a kid.
He is a kid. I mean, you can't expect logic from kids. You can't expect them to be orators or community leaders.
No, why is it that
Think of that society that has no forgiveness for something like this.
no.
Yeah, you were saying.
Okay, let me ask a counter question. Why is it that you can insult Hindus, you can demolish the idols of goddess Durga, and you won't face blasphemy, but a but a kid who has maybe passed some ridiculous comments on the prophet will face blasphemy. The law should have been equal, right? If you are having a blasphemy law, if you can publicly execute someone who has insulted the prophet, then the same should be done for someone who has tried to ransack a Durga Mandap, right?
Yeah, like I said, silent minority. Nobody cares about them.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about them. When something
I think it's high time the Hindus of Bangladesh should realize this and unite.
Yeah, we can see instances of that as well. Like we have seen a new group come up to the forefront, Bangladesh Saratan Party. They are protesting that why is it that always whenever there is an instability, we are being attacked.
yeah,
They are claiming now.
I mean, it will happen. It will happen even more. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of 1930s Germany. They had an economic inflation. They had inflation. Their economy was in shambles. And what they did, they blamed it on the Jews, who had nothing to do with it. They blamed all their troubles on the Jews because it is always easy to blame the silent minority that just minds its own business, that just simply follows their own way of life. It's easy to blame that, and that is what we are seeing in Bangladesh. I won't be surprised if now the extreme elements in Bangladesh start calling for a genocide.
They were actually.
They were.
Sorry to break it to you. When this incident happened in Chattogram, like there is a Pahari minority that lives in Chattogram who are
The Chakmas of
this
Yeah.
sect. So what happened? Chattogram was initially populated by them. Okay, but as it happens in any country that people migrate to those parts. So when the Bangladeshi mainland people moved there, clashes started happening or something like that.
Yeah.
Recently, due to some incident, this Bangladeshi people, they were attacking Chakmas like anything.
Yeah.
They were burning their temples, burning their houses, and all that. And when the military intervened, the normal Bangladeshi population said the only solution is genocide. I could see posts like this.
Think about it. Think about a society that says the only solution is genocide.
Exactly.
Anyway, that reminds me of something that happened in 2001. Can you guys put a light on it? When we saw the regime change happen in 2001.
In the 2001, what happened was that the BNP Nationalist Party led by Khaleda Zia,
Yeah.
who is the wife of that military general who murdered Ziaur Rahman, who
Yeah.
murdered, who is like allegedly murdered the fourth brother of
The
Bangladesh.
Brutus of Bangladesh.
Sketch here. So their party, BNP Nationalist Party, with coalition with Jamaat-e-Islami, swept the 2001 elections and came into power. Right after they came into power, the Jamaat-e-Islami leaders ordered some of the areas of Bangladesh, mainly where the Hindu population resides, mainly Khulna, Sylhet, to vacate the places of the Hindu temples and all, because They called it the Holy Land of Islam, and so there no pujas should be done. So this it's I will not call it a genocide, but they systematically tried to.
They came very close to it. They came very close to it.
So whenever the BNP or the Jamaat-e-Islami coalition comes into the power, we have seen violence.
And the
1992, when the Babri Masjid was demolished, right? We saw very much violence on the streets of Bangladesh that time also.
yeah.
Right. So 2001 elections was the last time I think they came into power. Maybe in 2006 or 7 also they came into power. But 2001 was a turning point where Hindus in Bangladesh may have realized that whenever this party, this duo comes into the power, they will incite violence against them.
Exactly.
And that's why it explains the reason which I've talked about in the previously, right? That why Hindus are loyalists to the army, right? So that is one of the reasons because whenever this duo comes into the power, there will be violence on them.
They are loyalists because these guys protect them. Our League protects them. And yes, obviously, we all know we are not blind here. We are not hypocrites here. We know our League has problems. We know democracy is problematic in Bangladesh. But the thing is, if your country is already so unstable, you can't have the luxuries of USA.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
There is a reason why Subhash Chandra Bose said that we need a dictatorship for the first few years.
Well,
The country needs to mature. And I don't trust the common people with the decisions. Anyway,
let's move to the next topic.
Yeah. Let's.
do you guys, do you guys have any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to discuss because relatable to India, right? So I want to discuss about the India-Bangladesh relations post the Hasina ouster. So how has India reacted to these political changes and violence? Now, as far as I know, the Narendra Modi has, our Prime Minister has tweeted regarding the safeguarding of the minorities and especially the Hindus after to the this Prime Minister, right? This Mohammad Yunus. Anyone else knows about what has been India's stance to this?
Comrade, would you like to go?
You go first. I'll.
See, India has acted very maturely in a situation like this. First of all, Sheikh Hasina was our friend. Why she was our friend? Because she encouraged trade, she encouraged stability with India. We are not there to look into what happens inside your country, right? We are simply here to look at the stability, the trade, and the friendship between governments. That's what governments do. And when something like this happened, see, we had a responsibility to give her refuge as a humanitarian gesture because they would have killed her. Simply putting it like that. But then again, we did not go into something extreme like not recognizing the new government. The Indian government supported the new government. The Indian government said that they would help them in any way possible. The visa process, as far as I know, has started again. And the Indian companies have restarted their investments. As you know, the Royal Enfield factory just came up.
I recently just went to Bangladesh.
And things are going good. But the thing is, we are not going to. Sheikh Hasina is a human after all. We forget the fact that she is a friend of India and all that thing. She was a. It does not matter if she was a friend of India. She is a human, and if you, accept the extradition order, then you are simply signing her death warrant.
Right. For extradition to happen also, right, that person should have committed, that person should have a criminal record in both of the countries. Maybe the new government
Exactly. What did she do over here? Yeah, as far as I know, but yeah, the only offense she is, she can be accused of committing is not taking more than 50,000 rupees in Connaught Place. After she came to India, she did not have change and she went to do some shopping and the Indian counterpart paid for her. So that's the only offense we can think of that she did in India. Yeah, maybe she cooks her food with a little bit more spice. She is known to do that. But apart from that, she is not a criminal over here. And that's
One
the thing.
I'd like to add that should we discuss about the deep state involvement in this Bangladeshi?
So you mean to say the China-Pakistan involvement?
No.
Mostly US.
Mostly the US involvement, the US coup.
Okay. Agree.
Yeah, if you do not want CIA to assassinate you, then don't. But I don't think.
No, I don't.
I just want to understand what interest does USA have in having a new leader of Bangladesh? Does they want to put what
The US likes to always have extra cards on the table. Even if it knows that it is winning, it likes to have redundancy. It likes to have backup plans. See, the thing is, you have a China, and the US is pissed off about it. The US tried to break up the USSR. That happened. USA was happy, but then China emerged. Again, you get another power imbalance. So the US does not want yet another China to pop up. Simply putting that.
Exactly.
And when I say US, I don't mean the politicians or something like that. Of course, they are involved, but we are talking about what Donald Trump calls the swamp. I mean the bureaucrats. Bureaucrats are neither elected nor they are voted out in power. They are there for decades. So those people, the people in the Pentagon, those who are actually running the country in US, they are concerned about India, that they don't want another China to pop up. So I mean, they cause problems like this and alienate themselves.
And they try to create problems for India, like wherever.
Exactly.
Ah,
Think about the US record. Think about the US record. What they do? They meet up with problematic elements. They do not condemn problematic elements. They do not.
recently we saw like Muhammad Yunus go to this.
Forget Mohammed Yunus. Think about Ilhan Omar. She was allowed to visit all the areas that actually belongs to India.
Okay, I want to remind the viewers, right? When the USA went into Iraq, claiming that what was the leader's name? I forgot.
Saddam Hussein.
Yes.
Saddam Hussein had
Yeah.
weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction.
And what they did the regime change, and they did not know how to deal after the regime change was done. And
One thing that comes to mind, Iraq actually was the minority in this situation. They were angry on 9/11. They wanted something to happen. The 9/11 is Sheikh Hasina. US is the common Bangladeshi people. They got angry, so they wanted to do something about it. So they attacked Iraq.
Sure.
They were looking for a scapegoat, and Saddam was the perfect one. Saddam is nowhere the best character. But the thing is, look at Iraq now.
Exactly. You saw the rise of.
It's okay to have one bad guy. But when one bad guy loses his power, you get a million bad guys. It's difficult to manage a million bad guys.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think we can come to the last point, right? Which I want to encourage our viewers to stay informed of the situation that is happening in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Spread awareness as much as possible from wherever you are watching, from whichever state you are watching, because there is an ethnic cleansing of Hindus that is going on in Bangladesh, and we have to do our best to stop it from happening.
See,
And
we can see everything on social media, right? So whenever you see something like that, it does not really matter. Just simply share it. It does not matter how many friends you have in your Facebook profile. It does not matter how many Instagram followers you have. Simply share what you are seeing. There are millions of accounts sharing problems, sharing the atrocities that take place with minorities, not just Hindus. We are Hindus, that means we will talk about Hindus. That's not the case. Christians, the Buddhists, the Chakmas. It's happening to everyone. So when you see something like this, simply share it. Just out of humanity. They don't deserve to die just because of their religion.
Yes, suggest. I'd like to add one thing that what I hate to admit is we are seeing history repeating itself exactly after 100 years. 100 years back, similar things happened in Bengal and in rest of India. But in Bengal, we are seeing it repeat all over again. And we might not want to recognize it, but this is the truth.
I know exactly what you are talking about. Think about a situation so bad that Gandhi has to interfere.
Exactly.
Gandhi does not take the side of Hindus. Think of a situation so bad that Gandhi had to take the side of Hindus.
Right.
yeah, I also want to remind the viewers who are watching us from West Bengal or Kolkata, right? Read about the Direct Action Day, which happened in 1946. read about. These are points you should read about to understand
This is
what
your
has
history.
happened in the past.
This is your history.
This is less than 100 years, my friends.
Yeah.
And read about Noakhali riots. The worst kind of brutal atrocities that were committed. 1971 also it was committed against the Hindus.
1971, people tell it after like Germany, that was the most documented genocide of or ethnic cleansing of any minority.
Okay, if you can then come up that, let's say, that is their country's affair or not. Read about.
I mean
Kolkata.
the biggest victims were the minorities in the
And remember,
71.
guys, Kolkata is a Hindu majority city. While being a Hindu majority state, Hindus were massacred. Try to understand the irony behind it. You may say that, okay, it is happening in Bangladesh because it is Muslim majority. It will not happen here because it is Hindu majority. Kolkata happened. 1946 happened. Millions bodies were lying on the street
Yeah.
while being a Hindu majority.
And subscribers and people watching, this is not a call to action to start violence. We don't want violence on any side.
We
But
want
when
to see
violence is
it
happening to
and
us,
away.
we have to speak about it.
We are just asking to stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant. Yes, protect yourself. We are not telling you to go and attack someone. We are just telling you, when you see violence, simply talk about it. They deserve to be talked.
Exactly. We shouldn't hide under the secular screen that we shouldn't. I mean, and talking about religion is inherently communal.
That is actually the true form of secularism.
Exactly.
When you talk about the Bangladeshi Hindus,
Exactly.
when you want to talk about without any double standards, when you want to talk about real secularism, that is real secularism.
Exactly.
Nobody should die because of their religion. Anyway, guys, I think do you guys have to add anything to it, Daniel?
No, I'm done.
And comrade,
I'm done too. Like, I'm done with Bangladesh, but
We all are done with Bangladesh.
we all are done, but we have to closely follow the situation because, as you know, it's our backyard, and we have to see if the backyard has snakes or if the backyard has fruits and vegetables.
So, before we go, we would like to request our viewers to please like, share as much as possible because this is a very sensitive video. Share as much as possible.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our channel. You will see the like, share, and subscribe somewhere down there. And
Please,
see you again
yeah.
in the next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Spread awareness. You don't even have to like our video or something like that. If you find this thoughtful, simply do what we just told you. When you see acts of violence, simply talk about them. It won't take time to spread here.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind, guys.
yeah.
Bharat.
Jai Hind.